How dumb do the people on the left think we are?
Dumb enough to stare directly into the sun during a solar eclipse. Dumb enough to wear a mask like this, bonus points if it's a Trump 2020 mask. Dumb enough to ask how you spell FBI. Dumb enough to vote twice for a guy that can't and won't give a shit about you. Dumb enough to scream about freedom but be willing to put your life on the line to defend fascism. Dumb enough to claim white supremacy while looking like Discount Duck Dynasty. Dumb enough to think The Last Airbender, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, was a good movie. Dumb enough to not know what year the War of 1812 was fought in. Dumb enough to claim to be Christian but then literally worship a golden false idol at CPAC. And don't worry, I have 3 more pages.
How dumb do the people on the left think we are?
Alright, on to page 2. Dumb enough to claim that you need your guns to defend against a tyrannical government, but then when a tyrannical government tries to take over, you're too busy sucking their boot to use your guns. Dumb enough to not wear a mask during a pandemic even when you were doing a terrorism and it could have hid your identities. Dumb enough to pay $100 for an eighth of weed when it's actually all oregano. Then say it was the good kush. Dumb enough to put your cigarettes out on a propane tank. Dumb enough to think that a man born in the Middle East looks like Chad Kroger. Dumb enough to wait for a stop sign to turn green. Dumb enough to beat a cop with a Blue Lives Matter flag. Dumb enough to call others sheeple while you're out there looking like the ugliest Manson girls I've ever seen. Dumb enough to think Trump would pardon you. Dumb enough to defend incest because it's your third cousin. Dumb enough to use Apple Pay for crimes. And there's more.
How dumb do the people on the left think we are?
I wish you could say it took me more than 5 minutes to think of these things. Y'all make it too easy. Dumb enough to stick a fork in an electrical socket. Dumb enough to think stimulus checks are somehow bad for you. Dumb enough to think that Trump running this country like he ran one of his businesses was a flex. Dumb enough to think that if the left was going to rig the election, we would have allowed the likes of Mitch McConnell, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Lauren Boebert. Dumb enough to demand organic food in prison, get the shits from it, and then complain about it. Dumb enough to live stream your multiple federal offenses. Dumb enough to think that the song American Idiot isn't about you. Dumb enough to think you're being censored as you post on social media. Dumb enough to believe in racial purity. Dumb enough to think fascism can sustain itself. Dumb enough to think capitalism can sustain itself. Dumb enough to call other people snowflakes. Dumb enough to inject bleach but refuse a vaccine.